Do you dream of getting out of the frozen tundra and soaking up some 70-degree winter sunshine?
Then you've probably thought of Arizona's Valley of the Sun as your winter destination.
Today we're going to show you 10 places and things to do that will amaze, fascinate you, and make those winter dreams come true.
Because everything we're going to mention here is either free or very budget friendly.
Because we're going to Mesa and Apache Junction, east of Phoenix, to find places to stay, see, and things to do that are all very budget friendly.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Linda.
And this is Roaming with Rosie.
The Valley of the Sun in south central Arizona is well known as a winter playground. All types of snowbirds migrate here seasonally. From November to March, average high temperatures range from 65 to 75 degrees. For generations, Phoenix and the surrounding area have been the winter destination for retirees, especially the East Valley, where you'll find the Superstition Mountains, which are the backdrop for the cities of Mesa and Apache Junction. Nowadays, with so many living exclusively in their RVs, you'll find sunseekers of all types and ages. Which means not everyone is driving a fancy RV. Many are wintering here on a budget. This is for you. Let's talk about where you're going to camp. Spending the winter here is one of those reasons to consider a Thousand Trails membership, but only if you're over 55 and able to plan ahead. Then you'll be fine. There are 5,000 trails or encore parks here in the East Valley. However, they all have age restrictions for humans and most for RVs as well. Our RV is a 2006, but we've had no problem with that 10-year rule so far. We just send pics of Rosie, and she's been acceptable for their tastes. Now let's talk about affordable camping, and our first choice, which is always public parks and campgrounds. There are two near Mesa and Apache Junction that are both beautiful and spacious. Because of that, you have to plan ahead during the popular season. Usery Mountain Regional Park is a 3,600-acre oasis set aside for the enjoyment of the public and the preservation of the natural environment. The campground contains 73 spacious sites. Fees are about $30 a night and include water and power. This is a great park with 29 miles of multi-use trails, including horseback riding and mountain biking. They even have an archery range and an RC airplane field. There's a beautiful nature center and frequent ranger-led walks, talks, and other activities. Our favorite is the full moon hikes. Just across the highway from Usery Park's entrance is the home of the Rio Salado shooting range. From some places in the park, you will hear the sounds of gunfire. The range is open to the public, and there's info in the description below. Just a short 5-mile drive from the park, you'll find a water recreation oasis. This is the Salt River Basin. With red cliffs and opportunities to see wildlife, it's part of the Tonto National Forest. The lower part of the river is controlled so that it mostly flows during the summer to the parched Valley of the Sun. During that time, tubing, kayaking, and fishing are extremely popular. But the best part any time of year is watching the Salt River wild horses. These wild horses have a history here. The lower Salt River that they roam has been their home for hundreds of years. They truly are the pride of the community, a favorite subject of photographers and an icon of the wild, free spirit of Arizona. In the winter, it becomes much more peaceful here, with lots of areas to pull off and take in the scenery. There's many paths along the river with even more beautiful views and opportunities to see the wild horses. The Bush Highway makes a great day trip because of the gorgeous views. There are lots of areas to pull off and take in those views. If you plan to park in any of these lots, you'll need to purchase a Tonto Pass, which can be purchased at kiosks in each area. However, National Park Passes are acceptable as well. Next up the road is Saguaro Lake, with stunning canyon walls and more opportunities to spot wildlife. This is the lower of 4 reservoirs built to contain the snowmelt from Arizona's Mogollon Rim. There are several hiking trails in the area, as well as boat and kayak rentals. Plus, there's a restaurant at the lake's marina. I know I promised this episode to be bargains, but I must mention the Desert Belle boat cruise that's located there. The cruises start at $25 per person for an 80-minute cruise. It's not cheap, but unless you have your own boat or want to rent one, this is the only way to see up into the canyon that is now a beautiful lake. Our second campground choice is Lost Dutchman State Park, just a few miles away. Just like Usery, the spaces are long and wide and all have beautiful views. The campground has 135 sites and 3 group camping areas. 68 of those have electric and water, and the remainder are non-hookup sites for tents or smaller RVs. They run $25 to $35 a night. And just like Usery Mountain, if you want to camp during the high season, you're going to have to reserve early. Online reservations can be made up to 6 months in advance. Our favorite hike is located here. It's the Treasure Loop Trail, and it's ranked easy to moderate. We advise stopping often along the trail for cool views of the Valley of the Sun. The park features lots of information about the Lost Dutchman and the Lost Treasure. But if you really want to get into the spirit, just cross the Apache Trail road you came in on, because that is the location of Goldfield Ghost Town. Founded in 1893, Goldfield was aptly named when gold was discovered in these here mountains. Goldfield Ghost Town is now operated as a tourist attraction. But at the turn of the last century, at its heyday, there were 50 working gold mines. Sadly, by 1926, there seemed to be no more gold to be mined, and the town was abandoned. There's no admission fee, so you can wander around and take it in without opening your wallet. Of course, there are many attractions here that will tempt you to reconsider that. The traditional Wild West gunfight is free though. The Goldfield Gunfighters put on an authentic and humorous show on the hour from noon to 4 p.m. However, many believe the biggest haul is hidden somewhere in these Superstition Mountains by that same little lost Dutchman, Jacob Waltz, who is actually German, and not for lack of trying, but no one has found the gold. Just a mile west from Goldfield is the Superstition Mountain Museum. There you'll find remnants of Apache Land Ranch, a real working Western movie studio that was open to the public from 1967 to 1969, when it burned down the first time. The barn and the chapel survived and the sets were rebuilt, but in 2004 another fire took everything except the barn and the chapel again. They were saved and moved 7 miles to their current home. Over 100 movies and TV shows were filmed in Apache Land, and the barn is in every single one of them. The museum itself charges an admission fee. However, there is no admission to tour the 15-acre site. The views from the grounds will take you back in time. Continuing on Arizona State Highway 88 past Los Dutchman State Park will eventually bring you to Canyon Lake. It's the third lake in a series of reservoirs. Although it's the smallest, we think it's an absolutely stunning lake with towering red sandstone walls. To really see the magnificence of this, you need a boat. And if you don't have one, you can rent, but the price is pretty steep. However, they also offer a cruise. The Dolly Steamboat will take you about 6 miles into the canyon and share the history and legends of the area. They last about 90 minutes and start at $30. If you're lucky, you might see some of the desert wildlife, such as the bighorn sheep or even a bald eagle. There's also a campground right on the water's edge with some sites big enough for RVs. There's a link in the description below. There's one last stop along this highway that we recommend, the tiny town of Tortilla Flat. The last surviving stagecoach stop along the Apache Trail was built in 1904, and neither fire nor flood has ended the life of it. You can enjoy a burger and brew while sitting on a saddle in the saloon, or pick up some prickly pear cactus gelato in the country store. What did you do?
I drove through the flooded area when I was flooding.
Ah.
Said you're not supposed to do that.
And they put you in jail for driving through the flooded area.
Well, put me in jail for being an idiot.
The Tonto National Forest Tortilla Campground is across the road and features some pretty nice views. However, they can only accommodate RVs under 30 feet. Sites are $20, and there are some discounts available with Forest Service Senior or Access passes. As we've been showing you, one of the best and most budget-friendly things to do in the Valley of the Sun in the winter is to celebrate the outdoors. It's free to get out on one of the dozens of fantastic hiking trails that are out in the Far East Valley. This one's not easy, but it's totally worth the effort. The Wave Cave Trail in nearby Gold Canyon will take you to something you won't find anywhere else. There's 2 trails here that are really well known. So we're doing the Wave Cave Trail, and the other trail that's supposed to be a little bit easier is the Hieroglyph Trail. And the Hieroglyph Trail has, at the end of the trail, petroglyphs and hieroglyphs.
Yeah. We're roughing it. Parker just had a treat. And this is the way. We're not at the top yet, but here's our view.
It's correctly rated as a moderate hike because it's all uphill. We took it slow and steady, stopping often to check out the views. And finally, we met our reward.
So we made it.
This is why it's called the Wave. Check that out. Isn't that awesome? It's just beautiful up here. So I want to thank everybody for subscribing, and for those of you who have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and ring that bell to be notified when we shoot our next video. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell.
Say subscribe. Subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button.
There you go.
And ring that bell.
Bringing out a camera makes you not be able to talk anymore.
Yeah.
Oh. We hope you enjoyed roaming with Rosie today. For more information on the places featured in this episode, check out the links in the video description, as well as products and equipment we use and recommend. We sometimes do receive a small commission when you use our links for purchases, which is a great way at no additional cost to you to help offset some of our production costs. Thank you so much for watching and sharing our videos and subscribing to Roaming with Rosie. We'd love to hear from you and encourage your comments and questions. Until next time, see ya!